The duet of the tides, the docks of Cebu in 1946 were a symphony of rebuilding. The clang of metal, the shouts of merchants, and the tireless slosh of the sea. But every Sunday afternoon, beneath a lone, wind-battered palm tree near the wharf, the noise dissolved into music. Here stood Marisol, whose voice was the liquid gold of sunset. She sang for spare coins, but her true reward was the presence of Ramon, the fisherman. Ramon was dark-skinned, quiet, and possessed a talent that belied his simple trade, a guitar that spoke the language of the ocean. While other ships passed with loud horns and rough greetings, Ramon would sit, playing intricate, lilting melodies for the sea itself. When they found each other, their two solitary songs merged into one. Their Sunday performance was the heart of the harbor. Marisol would weave her soaring, operatic melodies through Ramon's intricate finger-picking. They sang old kundiman, Filipino love songs, about distant islands, endless journeys, and the sorrow of separation. They were inseparable. Their relationship as simple and constant as the tides they lived by. They never needed grand declarations. Their commitment was cemented in the perfection of their sound. When they sang, they were two halves of one soul. The sea, their great patron, became their fierce adversary. The typhoon arrived without warning, a monstrous spiral of wind and rain that devoured the sky. Ramon, along with his entire fishing group, was caught far from shore. The storm raged for a terrible day and night, tearing houses from their foundations and scattering the fleet like splinters. When the sun finally reappeared, blinking weakly over a battered shore, it found the docks crowded with worried faces. One by one, boats drifted back, scarred and humbled. But Ramon's small, proud parao was not among them. After 2 weeks of fruitless searching, the community knew the truth. The sea had claimed him. Marisol was there when they ceased the search. She walked back to the palm tree, picked up the old, chipped guitar Ramon had left leaning against its trunk, and looked at the instrument. Then silently she laid it back down. She never sang again. Marisol remained by the docks, her face turned constantly toward the wide, indifferent horizon. Her silence was a palpable ache, a missing note in the bustling life of Cebu, but the music, it seemed, was not ready to die. As the weeks turned into months, the local fishermen and villagers began to whisper of an uncanny phenomenon. Every night after the lamps were lit and the tide began its slow retreat, a song would rise from the darkness. It was a perfect, familiar duet. They heard Marisol's clear, mournful voice, strong and true, harmonizing with the unmistakable sound of Ramon's unique guitar style, the slightly muted bass strings, the fast, rolling rhythm. It wasn't the sound of sorrow. It was the sound of a love song completed. The song was always the same, a powerful, sweeping kundiman about a sailor's return. The villagers, standing hushed on the shore, would swear they heard the guitar strums land precisely when the waves crashed, and Marisol's voice peak exactly when the wind gusted. Some said it was the echo of their last, joyful practice session caught in the ancient choral. Others said that since their songs were always meant for the sea itself was singing them back to shore. The truth lay with the heartbroken singer who stood silent on the dock. Her voice, having been claimed by grief, now lived only in the boundless air and water. And because her voice was there, Ramon's could not be far. The two souls, finally unbound by land and time, now perform an eternal concert on the tide, proving that some loves are not destroyed by the depths, but simply change their stage to the vast, endless music of the waves.